Psalm 10 opens with a cry that many believers have felt in moments of confusion. Why do you stand far away, O Lord? The psalmist is not denying God's presence, but expressing the tension between what appears visible in the world and what is spiritually true. Wickedness often seems unchecked, while the righteous wait for vindication. Yet throughout Scripture, God is never absent from his covenant people. Even when judgment delays, his purposes continue unfolding according to his wisdom. The wicked man described in this psalm trusts in his own strength, wealth, and schemes. He boasts in his desires and lives as though there is no accountability before God. This reflects the blindness of fallen humanity. Sin deceives the heart into believing that earthly success is permanent and divine justice will never come. The proud person convinces himself that God has forgotten and that no reckoning will ever arrive. The psalm gives vivid descriptions of oppression. The wicked prey upon the poor, the afflicted, and the helpless. Like a lion hiding in secret places, they exploit weakness for personal gain. This imagery captures both individual evil and corrupt systems that consume vulnerable people. Human pride always produces destruction because it seeks self-exaltation rather than dependence upon the Lord. Yet the psalmist does not leave the matter unresolved. He calls upon God to arise and judge the wicked. This request is not rooted in personal revenge, but in confidence that God governs history righteously. The Lord sees every act of violence, every hidden scheme, and every injustice committed against his people. Nothing escapes his knowledge. The psalm emphasizes that God is the defender of the fatherless and oppressed. Throughout redemptive history, the Lord continually revealed himself as the protector of those who had no earthly power. His kingdom does not operate according to worldly strength, but according to his mercy and righteousness. The weak are not forgotten before him. Verse 16 declares, "The Lord is king forever and ever." This is the turning point of the psalm. Earthly powers rise and fall, but God's reign remains unshaken. Nations that oppose him cannot endure forever. Human rebellion eventually collapses beneath divine judgment. The apparent triumph of evil is temporary because history moves toward the fulfillment of God's righteous purposes. The psalm also anticipates the decisive vindication of God's people and the removal of oppressive powers. The Lord hears the desire of the humble and strengthens their hearts. Though the righteous may suffer for a time, God ultimately establishes justice and brings an end to arrogant rebellion. His judgments reveal that he has never abandoned his covenant promises. At the same time, this psalm points beyond earthly deliverance to the deeper reality of God's salvation. Humanity's greatest problem is not merely external oppression, but the corruption of the human heart. The proud man in Psalm 10 reflects the condition of all humanity apart from divine mercy. But God, in his grace, provides righteousness apart from human effort. Acceptance before him does not come through self-achievement or religious performance, but through his covenant faithfulness and the finished work of redemption. The psalm ultimately encourages believers to trust in God's reign even when circumstances seem contrary. Evil may appear powerful for a season, but the Lord remains enthroned forever. He sees the afflicted, hears the cries of his people, and acts in perfect justice. The humble can rest in confidence because God's kingdom cannot fail, and his righteousness will prevail over every form of human pride.